The story of this movie starts with Pippa, who has moved into their shared house in Montreal for the first time with her boyfriend, Thomas. They plan to live together, and they are both pleased about it. At night, while having a drink, they notice that the apartment in front of their window is fully visible, drawing Pippa and Thomas's attention. The neighbors start kissing each other, continue to look at the couple in love, and criticize their behavior from their point of view. Pippa asks Thomas to stop looking at them and to respect their privacy. Thomas says that they have no problem with it and are doing it with the necessary awareness of being seen, but Pippa finally convinces Thomas. In each window, a different life is going on, and other people are in the view window of Pippa and Thomas's house, but the window overlooking the opposite house has a more interesting angle of view than the others. Pippa dresses up and chooses an attractive nightgown to tempt Thomas for their first make-love experience in their new home, but discovers that Thomas in front of the sauna club and go home. Now Pippa is in a relationship with these two people full-time and is constantly sneaking around in the lives of these two people and spying on Sebastian's unhealthy relationships very carefully. Pippa gets out of bed, and after setting up the listening devices, she realizes that Julia is awake and tries to connect to the printer of their house through Thomas's computer. Pippa succeeds and anonymously sends Julia a message containing Sebastian's betrayal. At first, Julia doesn't believe it, but she tells Julia that Sebastian's used condom is in the bathroom trash can. At this moment, Thomas also notices what is going on and blames Pippa for her interference and considers it too much, but Pippa is determined to scandalize Sebastian. Julia goes to the trash can at the right time and realizes the truth of this issue. Julia goes to Sebastian's room with a knife in the presence of Pippa and Thomas. A panicked Thomas tries to call the police, but Pippa dissuades him because the police arrest them for spying. Finally, Julia cannot kill Sebastian and leaves the room. Thomas, who is very angry, crushes Pippa's camera and returns to the bedroom. The following day, Thomas talks to Pippa and asks her to stop spying on the neighbor, and Pippa promises that she won't do it again after last night's dangerous incident. She won't reach for the spy camera again, and hug each other, but she realizes that something strange has happened in the neighbor's house. Julia has committed suicide. Thomas, terrified, blames Pippa for this incident, gathers his belongings, and ends his relationship with Pippa, leaving Pippa alone. Pippa sleeps alone on the bed at night. The next day, when she calls customers to deliver ready-made glasses, she encounters Julia's glasses and records the message of providing the new glasses to her with a grudge. After a few weeks, Pippa observes Sebastian's poor condition after his wife's death, and in an attempt to calm his conscience, she goes to a shop where Sebastian is having a drink. Pippa watches him. Sebastian notices her presence, goes to her table and talks to her. Pippa sympathizes and starts talking to Sebastian to calm him down and make him enclosed with her words. Sebastian asks Pippa to go to his house for drinks and take a snapshot as a model. Pippa agrees, and they go to Sebastian's house together. He pours Pippa a drink and asks her to attend his exhibition opening. In his usual technique, Sebastian asks Pippa to pose for the camera to take her picture. After taking several photos, Sebastian asks Pippa to take off her clothes so he can take better pictures, telling her he is a professional and trusts him. goodbye. Sebastian and Julia interviewed a magazine about their idea to create the second season of a gallery of pictures of the neighbors who spy in their lives and show a different role each season. At the end of the interview, Sebastian shows nervous behavior and leaves the magazine office with Julia. They take the gift sent by their fans home with them. After a drink, they talk about Sebastian's guilt. When Sebastian questions Julia about her lack of shame, Julia replies that she has no responsibility for Thomas's death and blames the killer. They were humiliated in the ceremony. The printer starts printing paper again, and Pippa talks to them and says she knows everything and is sure that Thomas didn't commit suicide and they murdered him. Sebastian and Julia notice Pippa's presence and go after her to stop her. Pippa runs to her workplace and tries to prevent them from entering but fails. Pippa explains that she knows that Julia poisoned Thomas and made the crime look like suicide. Pippa says they played her and they are the real culprits of Thomas's death. Julia still tries to pretend innocent and considers these words as Pippa's hallucinations, but suddenly she faints. Pippa tells Sebastian the drink was her gift and poisoned them and asks Sebastian to look at her face one last time because it will be the last thing he sees. Pippa takes them under the machine and blinds them with ophthalmic equipment so that they will miss their next project and not be able to ruin someone else's life.
Make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification, so you can watch more videos like this.